Hello, everybody. Welcome to Enemy of the Pack, or welcome back. My name is Sanrier, and I'll be your host for this episode. Today, we're stepping into the world of shadows, the world of the Eminence Shadow, that is. So brace yourselves, because we're heading into oncoming traffic. The series follows Minoru Kagano, who, by the words of his classmate, is
His grades are below average, athletically, he's below average, and his looks are exceedingly ordinary.
well, he's about as average as they come. But one thing isn't so average. Kagano is obsessed with power. Now, before we dive into our protagonist, let's talk about Nishino. She's the typical popular girl. Friendly, cheerful, and well-liked. You know the type. But at the end of the school day, when her driver doesn't come to pick her up, she decides to walk home. And as she says,
I haven't walked home since the incident.
you'd think she'd learn from her past mistakes, but clearly she's about as sharp as a marble. So what happens next? She takes a few more steps and
Bam!
gets kidnapped. When she wakes up, she finds herself tied up by two kidnappers, an ex-soldier and your run-of-the-mill kidnapper who has disgusting intentions for her. Just when things are about to get really bad for Nishino, in comes our hero, the stylish ruffian slayer. He quickly disarms the normal kidnapper and gets ready for round 2 with the soldier. And during their fight, our hero explains the benefit of using crowbars as weapons. Honestly, I enjoyed that part. Anyway, he unties Nishino and slips away, leaving her to make her own way home. Ah, Kagano, the shadowy guardian who appears, helps, and vanishes. And you heard it right. Kagano is the stylish ruffian slayer.
Minoru Kagano was hit by a truck. He did not survive.
Yeah, that's right. Our guy Kagano got taken out by Truck-kun. But why? To really understand him, we gotta rewind a bit. You see, Kagano isn't just an average guy. From a young age, he always wanted to be a superhero, like many of us did. But unlike most people, Kagano's obsession didn't fade with time. He kept training, mastering every skill that could make him stronger. From kung fu, to boxing, to survival training, to even fencing. But here's the thing, even if he became the strongest
Martial artist.
in the world, that still wouldn't be enough. He could take down normal gangsters,
Sure.
but what can he do when he's surrounded by fully armed soldiers? What if a nuclear bomb drops on him? No matter how strong, smart, or skilled you are, in the end there are things that no one can overcome. That's the reality of being human. But it seems Kagano took his own speech to heart, or in this case, to head, because the next thing we see is him literally banging his head against a rock, repeatedly shouting magic like he's trying to unlock some ultimate skill through blunt force. And then, well, our boy Kagano takes it up a notch and heads onto the road, as you do when you're having a bit of an existential crisis. And yeah, you guessed it, he gets hit by a truck. But here's where things get really interesting. He opens his eyes to realize he's been reborn in a completely different world. Not that he has much time to process it, as he's already feeling magic around him. Finally, he has
What he's always wanted.
the chance to surprise his limits with magic now at his fingertips. So what do we learn from this, folks? If you're determined enough and bang your head on enough rocks, sometimes life might just give you another shot. Now that he's reborn, Minoru Kagano, or Sid, which is his new name, has every advantage he ever dreamed of. He's faster, stronger, and more skilled than his older sister. And
Let's not forget,
he got those earth-learned skills on his side. Skills honed through countless hours of martial arts, fencing, and even survival training. But Sid's obsession with staying in the shadows isn't over. He's determined to be the most background-rich guy around. By losing to his sister on purpose, downplaying his skill, and doing everything possible to seem like the weak one. Why? Also, he can dramatically reveal his true strength one day and blow everyone's mind. Now at night, Sid loves to raid bandit camps for tools, equipment, and
Most important of all,
money. And during one of these raids, Sid stumbles across something strange, a blob-like creature.
Oh, hell no!
Now, any sensible person might take a step back, but not Sid. Nope, he decides this is the perfect opportunity for some experimentations.
Oh, I can make use of this blob. It's not my body, so I can do anything I want with it.
stop it. Get some help.
Through his creative method, Sid actually undoes the curse, binding this creature, transforming it back into its original form,
Which is
an elf girl. And right on cue, Sid does what he does best. He starts making up a backstory. Sid tells the elf girl that she was cursed by an evil organization. When she asks Sid who did this to her,
The one behind it all is. Yes. The mastermind is.
Sid, completely caught off guard, blurts out the name Cult of Diablos without realizing it's a real organization. By sheer luck, he unknowingly exposes the group responsible for transforming this girl into a monster. Sid names her Alpha and calls himself Shadow and recruits her in Shadow Garden. Alpha doesn't waste any time. She quickly tracks down others who are also cursed by the Cult of Diablos, finding more girls transformed into monsters. Each time, Sid, or rather Shadow, steps in to break the curse, he ends up adding another member to Shadow Garden.
Now we've seen
Sid pull off some incredible feats, but which of his powers stand out as his strongest? Is it the ability to move faster than light, or his mastery of every fighting style, or maybe the overwhelming destructive force deadlier than a nuclear bomb? The answer is his luck.
what?
Yes, Sid's true power is his unbelievable luck, but you'll have to watch the anime to understand what I'm talking about. Now that we've covered the epic highs and the hilarious lows of Eminence Shadow, let's dive into ratings and wrap this up. Season 1 came out in the fall of 2022 with a solid 20 episodes. The studio behind it, Nexus, it gets a solid 7 out of 10 from me. While it did a great job setting up the stage, it's still figuring itself out. Now Season 2, which dropped after a whole year's wait, brought us 12 episodes, once again handled by Nexus. This season took things to the next level. Fewer episodes, but a more focused narrative, improved pacing, and some seriously wild plot twists. It earns a solid 9 out of 10 from me, showing that sometimes less is really more. So, the final score is 8.5 out of 10. Now I know I've had my complaints about the series in this video, but I've gotta say that Eminence Shadow is different from a lot of other isekai we get. Sid, or should I say Shadow, isn't your typical hero. He's selfish, greedy, often cold, and sometimes downright annoying. But that's what makes him both lovable and hateable
At the same time,
he doesn't care about what anyone thinks, and his obsession with being the mysterious background character is honestly refreshing. So I'd highly recommend Eminence Shadow to anyone, whether you're new to anime or a long-time fan. It's one of my favorite anime, and I think it will surprise you too. Anyway, those have been my opinions, and I'd love to hear yours. Let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever we upload our next video. And don't forget to follow me and Anime of the Pack on Instagram. And as always, stay cool, stay kind, and keep exploring new worlds. Catch you in the next video.